Hi, welcome to PYT.
In this video, we are going to learn about Active Directory. When someone wants to join in the IT support role, either as an IT help desk or IT service desk or with the designation of technical support engineer, they need to know what is an Active Directory and what all the things will be managed from the Active Directory. So right now on the screen, we can see the on-premise Active Directory. I'm on the domain controller right now. So already the RSAT tools has been installed. So I can directly go here and search for the Active Directory users and computers. So this is called as the on-premise Active Directory. So here we can go for the computers and we can see like what all the computers that has been under the domain pytcourses.onmicrosoft.com. So right now there are no devices that has been registered with the pytcourses.onmicrosoft.com domain. So it is showing as there are no items to show in this view. But when it comes to the real time in the organizations, you will be having all the devices managed under the domain. So you would be able to see all the devices over here. Along with that, you can also manage the domain controller DC. So if I open this, I have my DNS over here, pytcourses.onmicrosoft.com, and this is the my server name. And the last one is like users. You can manage the users. So if you want to create an user, you can just right click on this, then go to the new, then scroll down and go to the user, and you can create the user from here. So in a simple statement, when someone asks you what is an Active Directory, you can say that with the help of Active Directory, the IT admins can manage the devices, users, and domain controllers. The Active Directory is an important part of IT infrastructure. So it is mandatory to know about the Active Directory when you're going to join role as an IT support. And in every organization, there will be two types of Active Directories. One is the on-premise Active Directory and the other is of Cloud Active Directory. So right now, which is on the screen, this is an on-premise Active Directory. So let me close this and let me show you the Cloud Active Directory. Cloud Active Directory means nothing but it's the Azure Active Directory. So for accessing the Cloud Active Directory means Azure Active Directory, you need to log into the portal.azure.com. So I have been already logged into the portal.azure.com. Now let me scroll down and go to the Azure Active Directory, which is also known as the Cloud Active Directory. So here under the overview, I can see the name of my organization. I can see the primary domain. I can see the license and number of users, groups, what are the applications that has been registered and the devices that are there with my domain. So if I scroll down, if I go to the users, I can manage all the users from here. I can see the user display names, user principal name, the user type, and the identities. Even you can also find an option called as on-premises sync enabled. So on-premises sync enabled is nothing but you can connect both the on-premises Active Directory as well as the Azure Active Directory with the help of Azure AD Connect. So with the help of Azure AD Connect, when you connect the on-premise Active Directory on the Cloud Active Directory, means the Azure Active Directory, then the sync will be enabled and whatever the changes that has been made in the on-premise will be reflected in the cloud. So here the on-premise sync is enabled. So if you see that for this user, for the user IT help desk, it is showing as enabled because this IT help desk account has not been created over here. I mean in the Azure Active Directory. This was created in the normal, I mean in the on-premise Active Directory. See here you can find the user. But as the Azure AD Connect has been enabled. This user account has been synced with the Azure Active Directory. So now let me go back to the PYT overview. And here, if we scroll down, see here you can see Azure AD Connect showing as enabled, and the last sync was happened 2 hours ago. So by using the Azure AD Connect, you can sync the on-premise AD with the Azure Active Directory. And guys, by the time when you join the organization as an IT admin, everything will be set up already, but you should be aware of how to work on the tools and for what exactly they are used for. Now let me go back to the on-premise Active Directory and let me show you how you can create a user account. So for creating the user account, there are three ways, guys. The first is you can just right click on the users, you can click on new, then user. And the other option is that over here on the right side, you can just right click over here, then new, user. And the last option is over the top, you can see create a new user icon. Even if you click here, you can create the user. So let me click on users and let me create the new user now. So let me create it as Karthik Selvaraj. Let me give the user logon name. I'm giving the user login name as karthik.silveraj. And here you can select the domain. So right now I have two domains over here. One is my main domain, that is the pytcourses.onmicrosoft.com, and my other domain, the secondary domain, is pytupgradeyourself.in. And you can give the user ID also. So let me give the user ID as Karthik Selva. Sorry guys, I have given the name wrong here. It should be SEL. Let me correct it. So here the user ID also, it should be SELVA. Let me click on next now. So it is asking me to enter the password. Let me give the password. I'm giving the password, and in the real time, for each and every organization there will be a password scenario. So once you join in the organization, they will be letting you know like what exactly the password you need to update when you are creating account. And it is mandatory that you need to select this user must change the password at next login. So when this user logs in for the first time with this password which you created, automatically it will show a pop-up for the user to update the password. Then user can update the password whatever he wish to. Okay, now we can see that Karthik Selvaraj account has been created. But if we, so I created this account in the on-premises AD, and earlier I told that the AD Connect, I mean the sync has been enabled between the on-premise AD and the Azure Active Directory. So now if we go and check in the Azure Active Directory, let's see whether we can find this user Karthik or not. So let me see. I cannot find any user by the name Karthik. Let me recheck the spelling. Yeah, it's Karthik. See, I cannot find any user because it will take some time to sync with the server. And once the sync has been happened properly, the Karthik account which you have created right now, that we would be able to see here in the Azure Active Directory. So now let me show you how you can create the security group from the Azure Active Directory. So for creating the security group, you can just right click over here. You can click on new. Then you need to go to the group because it will be coming under the group. And here under the group type, you have two options. One is the security and the other is the distribution. As you want to create the security group, you can just select the security group, but if you want to create the distribution, you can select the distribution. So first let's see how we can create the security group. So I'm selecting the group type as security and the group scope as global. So let me give the security group name. I'm giving the security group name as global VPN connect. Let me click on OK. So now the security group has been created. Let me open the security group. So here we can see an option called as description and the other is like email. So for the security group, email is not required. Always remember, for the security group there will not be any email. When it comes to the description, you can mention like for what exactly the security group, or if not, who asked you to create that security group or any ticket number, you can mention it over here in the description. When it comes to the members, you can add the members. So now let me add Karthik to this group. So as of now, we cannot find any user. See, okay. Now Karthik has been added to the member of tab. Let me click on apply and okay. Now let me reopen the security group. Let me go to the members. See, Karthik is a member of this security group. So now let me go to the managed by. So managed by is nothing but you can update the owner details over here. So let me update the owner details as admin and let me click on apply. Okay, and let me reopen the group again. So when you're working in the organization, when someone asks you to make any changes to the particular security group, you can just go ahead and check for the owner under the managed by. So here the administrator is the owner. So you need to get the approval from that particular person whether you need to make the changes to this security group or not. Okay, so now let me show you how you can create the distribution group. So let me click on new, then group, and we need to select the distribution now. And here I'm going to select it as the universal. So here let me give the distribution group name. I'm going to give it as POIT networking. Let me give it as POIT underscore networking. So I'm creating the distribution group now. I'm going to give the group scope as universal and the group type is distribution. I'm selecting the group name as POIT underscore networking. So this distribution is for networking. Let me click on OK. And now let me open the distribution group. So here we need to mention the email. For distribution, email is mandatory because distribution means where we will be sending emails. That it's like the group email. So let me give the email now. So POIT dot networking @POIT courses dot on Microsoft.com. And let me go to the members tab now. Here let me add the same user Karthik. Add. Let me click on apply and okay. Let me open the group name again. So what are the things we did? At first, we have given the group name, then we updated the email. We updated the email because this is a distribution list. But for the security group, the email is not required. And we have added one member, then we can check for the owner. Let me make the admin as owner for this. Or if not, let me make Karthik as owner for this. Okay, I have updated Karthik as the owner for this. So this is how you will be creating a user from the on-premise Active Directory, and also this is how you will be creating the security group as well as the distribution list from the on-premise AD. And once the sync has been happened, then you would be able to see this security group and the distribution list in the Azure Active Directory under groups. Under groups, you would be able to see them. So this is what mean by an active directory actually. Thank you for watching this video, and for more videos please do subscribe our channel PYT, and don't forget to like this video.